Here we go again, folks. It's your tattooed mistress bringing you another episode of the Tattooed Masses. Now this week, I'm behind a little bit. I know, work has been fucking crazy, as you can tell from my other show, Retail Rants. If you haven't checked that out, I please encourage you to go do so. That's only got 4 episodes on it so far, so you're not too far behind. Not like me. I'm at least 2 or 3 weeks behind on getting you an episode of the Tattooed Masses. So I'm here remedying that for you tonight. Hopefully I can get through this episode without stumbling too much, because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to get through. This episode I am making it about the actual terminology of the tattooed world, because of the fact that I've used some of these words a lot in the last episodes. I'm only counting 9 episodes, even though this title says episode 11. The defunct episode 10 live episode, which was completely random and done off the cuff. I just don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this every single week for you, because of work getting so crazy with Christmas season coming up. But with that, let's get right into it. And I have my dinner here with me because, of course, it's fucking 9 o'clock. I got home at about 7:30 from work because tonight is my night for closing. So I got home late. I spent almost a full hour getting these notes set up for you guys. I've also just randomly, because Christmas season is coming up, in the video, the little pictures on the screen next to this ugly thing, you're gonna see pictures of a tattooed Santa. Just because Christmas is coming up, I figured I'd bring that for you tonight. Getting right into the definitions of the terminology. I'm going to be eating while doing this because I'm starving. Starving, I tell you. So with that, I'm going to start right off with the first definition, which is the flash tattoos. As I had told you in a previous episode, this is a more refined definition of it. Printed or drawn tattoo designs that appear on the walls of tattoo shops or on flash racks, or in books and magazines that may be very unique designs or more traditional, somewhat stereotypical tattoo arts. Go figure with that one. Tattoo flash artist. Art is intended to give those interested in getting tattooed ideas for tattoo designs, but some people choose to get tattoo flash images tattooed on them without any modifications. Some tattoo artists create their own flash art, others strictly use store-bought tattoo flash art created by other tattooists, and others yet use a combination of these two types of flash art. With that, does that make it any more clearer for you? Domino's Parmesan bread bites are fucking awesome. Moving on now to something that was mentioned in the flash. You had the tattoo flash rack, which is a wall-mounted or freestanding device for displaying tattoo flash art. Most tattoo flash racks include pages encased in plastic, so that the tattoo shops that utilize them can slide their own artwork or purchased tattoo flash art right in. Right? Now this is a definition that I had a whole entire episode on, because this is very, very important. Aftercare. Now the definition for the aftercare in this is the process of caring for a new tattoo to ensure that it heals well. Proper tattoo aftercare includes different steps at different stages of the healing process, but throughout, it's important to keep a new tattoo clean. There are a number of quality tattoo aftercare products available that you can use to keep a new tattoo moisturized, like tattoo goo, ointment and lotion, hustle butter, aquaphor, redemption, and others. I prefer using A&D because that's usually what my artist recommends. He's also recommended aquaphor for me as well before. So from there, always follow your tattoo artist's main advice. Now, without doing proper aftercare, there is one thing that can pop up: a tattoo infection. This is something very serious. It could actually lead to death if not properly taken care of. The presence of a virus, bacteria, or other harmful microorganisms introduced during the tattoo process that can wreak havoc on the body. Certain colors of tattoo ink can sometimes trigger infections to develop in some people, but improper tattoo skin prep or unsanitary tattooing conditions are more often to blame. If your tattoo becomes infected, you may experience skin that's hot to the touch, red streaks radiating from your tattoo, discharge of thick yellowish pus from parts of your tattoo, and or fever. If you experience any of these symptoms, you can try to combat them by cleaning your tattoo with an antibacterial skin cleanser and generally ramping up your tattoo aftercare regime. If your symptoms persist or become worse, you may need to see your primary care doctor to get an antibiotic. If an antibiotic is prescribed, make sure you take the full course. Taking a partial course of antibiotics can temporarily suppress an infection, only to have it come back stronger and more resistant to antibiotics. So keep that in mind, folks. And again, this can lead to not only skin disfiguration, the ruining of your investment, because that's what a tattoo is, or death. Remember. Moving on to the next one here. The ink itself. Plain and simple. Pigments injected beneath the surface of the skin into the dermis to create tattoo designs. Tattoo ink is not FDA approved, so it's important to use ink manufactured by reputable brands that pride themselves on creating sterile tattoo ink. Remember that, folks. Many people now request organic and or vegan-friendly tattoo inks, of which there are many options available. So for you out there who are vegan, there's an ink for you now. Ugh. See, this is why Retail Rants needs to be expanded just a little bit, because this is another rant I could go on right now. Another tattoo ink option available is UV ink, or ultraviolet ink. And it's a type of phosphorescent tattoo ink that glows brightly under black lights. UV tattoo ink can be used to create invisible tattoos or to add cool surprise accents to tattoos that only appear under black lights. I'm so desperately interested in trying this, but my skin is so sensitive. I'm worried that that kind of ink is actually going to set off a reaction and be very, very bad for me, both medically and mentally. At this point in my life. Maybe one day I will get the balls enough to actually try it out, but it's highly unlikely. Simply because I am so worried of spending that money and having it being ruined by an allergic reaction of some kind. So, because my body, the way it is, it's so weird. See, I can handle tape on my hands, but anywhere else on my body, the tape would have to go. I'm actually very highly allergic to it. Weird, I know. And it's not the tape itself, it's the actual adhesive within the tape. So it explains why I've had issues with Band-Aids most of my life. But moving on, the ink cup. Now, the next definition here. A small plastic cup or tray of cups that hold small amounts of tattoo ink pigments. Tattoo ink cups allow tattoo artists to easily dip their tattoo needles into whatever colors of tattoo ink they need throughout the tattooing process. Now, if you've never gone and gotten it, it's literally a cup about that tall, and it's about that wide. It's the smallest little thing ever. You get like a drop of water in there. So for that, it's a pretty cool little object. Some tattoo studios actually have cup holders where you see all of them lined up together, and it's really cool. Other places, they just put a little A&D ointment on the tray underneath the cups. This way, that holds it in place. And I had that on a paper towel. That holds it in place as well. It's a little easier to do it that way rather than having to fight with getting those tiny little cups in a tiny little tray to hold it in place. So, you have that. Now moving on to something that is another rant. If I hear yet another person calling a tattoo machine a tattoo gun, I'm going to punch you in the face. Do we have an understanding here, children? Moving on now to one of the simplest machines out there, which is the coil tattoo machine. This one is the longest definition of the entire night, so I am going to try and get through this without stumbling. Hopefully it works. Jumping right into it. A type of tattoo machine that uses electromagnetic current to continuously create and break a circuit with the goal of driving tattoo needles in and out of the skin. That sounds pleasant. I'm just reading some of these definitions. It's like, that's what I've been doing to myself and actually enjoying it? Yikes. The cyclical breaking and reestablishing of the circuit occurs as various parts of a coiled tattoo machine connect and disconnect from each other. Basically, like a light bulb. At the start of the process, the front spring attached to the tattoo machine's metal armature bar is touching a contact screw, creating a complete circuit. When the connected tattoo power supply unit is turned on. The electricity passing from the power supply to the machine via an RCA cord or clip cord charges the machine's coils, which then creates an electromagnetic field that attracts the metal armature bar, pulling it down and separating the front spring from the contact screw. This downward motion drives the attached tattoo needles down out of the tattoo tube and into the skin, but it also breaks the circuit previously created by the front spring touching the contact screw. When the circuit breaks, the electromagnetic field created by the charged coil collapses, releasing the armature bar and allowing the front spring to reconnect with the contact screw. The tattoo needles then retract back into the tattoo tube until the circuit is re-established, which once again charges the coils, recreating an electromagnetic field and drawing the armature bar back down again. This cycle repeats rapidly as long as power is being delivered to the coil tattoo machine. This type of tattoo machine is responsible for the infamous buzzing sound associated with tattoo shops. Pretty cool, huh? I think I did pretty good with that one. Let's see, let's move on now. Cover-up tattoos. A tattoo that completely covers an old tattoo which has faded or is otherwise unsatisfactory to its owner. Creating cover-up tattoos that effectively hide old tattoos is an art in and of itself. If you wish to eliminate an old tattoo by having it completely covered with a new tattoo, it's important to find a tattoo artist who specializes in cover-ups and to choose a design that's large enough and contains the other elements necessary to effectively hide your old tattoo. Meaning, you have to have the right colors to be able to go over the colors of the one before. If you have an all black tattoo that you want covered up, you're going to need to cover it up with another all black tattoo. See what I mean? Because white is not going to go over the black as well, neither will red or purple. Just to keep that in mind. Okay, moving on to the next one here, we have the dermis. Now, some of us remember our elementary school biology classes where we learned about the skin cells and all of that, but here's a little refresher course for you. The dermis is the secondary layer of skin scales beneath the epidermis, which is the one that sees the air. Tattoo artists create permanent tattoo art by injecting tattoo ink into the dermis. Since cells in this layer of skin take a long time to regenerate instead of sloughing off daily the way epidermal skin cells do, eventually, even dermal cells will die and be replaced by new cells that don't contain tattoo ink pigments, which is what gives tattoos the appearance of fading over time, an issue that can be remedied with periodic touch-ups. Some tattoo places offer lifetime free touch-ups for their work, provided that the artist you use to do the tattoo is still working at that studio. Keep that in mind, folks. Now going into some of the more technical terms here as far as breaking down the machinery itself. Flat tattoo needles. Tattoo needles arranged in a flat line or a needle bar. Flat tattoo needles work well for creating geometric tattoos and can serve other purposes based on a tattoo artist's preferences. Magnum tattoo needles. Tattoo needles attached to a needle bar and large group. Yeah. See, here's the stumbling. I'm tired, folks. Tattoo needles attached to a needle bar in large groups. Magnum tattoo needles are more appropriate for filling in large areas and shading than other needle configurations. They come in standard Magnum tattoo needle configurations and tightly stacked Magnum needle configurations as well. Round liner tattoo needles. Tattoo needles grouped in a tight, round formation. Round liner needles are ideal for lining work like creating the outline of a tattoo. Round shader tattoo needles. Tattoo needles grouped in a round formation that isn't as tight as round liner needles. Round shader needles work best for creating shading in a tattoo design. Now going into another area, we have ways to remove tattoos other than just ripping your skin off. It's laser tattoo removal. The process of removing a tattoo in stages with a laser like the Revlite SI laser by ConBio over the course of months or a year plus. Usually black ink is addressed first, followed by the other colors in separate sessions as needed. The closer a tattoo is to the heart, the faster the ink tends to break up and be absorbed by the body after being treated with a laser, so tattoos on the extremities usually take longer to remove. Old faded tattoos and black tattoos respond most quickly to laser tattoo removal. Now, I've heard some of you wonder, you know, I'm not that well with pain. Is there anything that can be done? Absolutely, and here's the answer. Tattoo anesthetic. A cream or spray that contains an over-the-counter numbing agent like 5% lidocaine to numb the surface of the skin and make the tattooing process less painful for clients. Those with low pain thresholds often find tattoo anesthetic, numbing creams and sprays to be a helpful tool for lessening the discomfort of getting tattooed. Tattoo anesthetics should be applied a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes before the tattooing process. and they can be reapplied throughout the process to maintain their effect. Meaning, yes, even after the tattoo has been started, it is sterile and clean enough to use on the open wound, which is what a tattoo is, folks. Sorry to tell you. Okay, now getting on to tattoo art. Now, I've had several conversations about this one. It's a type of permanent body art that uses human flesh as the canvas for diverse types of artwork created by professional tattoo artists. Tattoo styles may range from geometric designs to watercolor style tattoos to symbols to tribal inspired artwork and beyond. You may ask yourself, how do they work it onto the skin? How do they get everything just right? Well, stencils is the answer, my friend. A tattoo design printed on tattoo transfer paper using a thermal printer or copier that can then be applied to a client's skin once it's been coated with a product like stencil stuff. Tattoo stencils can also be drawn freehand using tattoo pens, or tattoo pens can be used to add accents and otherwise enhance a stencil applied with transfer paper. Now, what a tattoo pen is a sterile marker that can write on the skin cleanly and not leave behind too much of an irritating factor, I guess you can call it. Moving on now to the tattoo studios or shops. A lot of you need to pay attention to this one. A licensed business that employs tattoo artists and sometimes piercing artists and or other body modification specialists. If you want to get a professional tattoo, it's best to seek a reputable professional tattoo artist who's employed by a licensed tattoo studio or one who works the tattoo convention circuit. Meaning there are some artists who are licensed in every state that they go to be able to do the tattooing and just work through the conventions itself. They don't have a set studio at home. They prefer to travel. So that's what that means. And finally, the last definition of the terminology I have for you tonight is the tattoo styles. There are a wide variety of tattoo ideas available from which you can choose, including tribal tattoo designs, Egyptian tattoos, Japanese tattoos, Chinese tattoos, nature and wildlife tattoos, celestial tattoos, death tattoos, Christian tattoos, biomechanical tattoos, geometric tattoos, Celtic tattoos, breast cancer tattoos, military tattoos, cover-up tattoos, which can be any style at all, and many more. The sky's the limit when it comes to the tattoo designs. You can pick pretty much any subject matter and have it applied as a realism tattoo, an abstract tattoo, a watercolor tattoo, or in just about any other artistic style you choose. Again, you choose. It's your decision. It's your body. Just remember that. Okay. So it took me an hour to get all of that together. I'm going to have in the description below the video a link to this site where they have many, many more definitions for many different things involving tattooing. They break down the machinery itself, every component of it, the styles, everything. They have everything listed there. So if you want to go check it out, go right ahead. Again, the link will be in the description below. I had mentioned before that I have been failing to mention the Teespring Store, which you can get all of your Tattooed Masses merchandise, and that will also be in the description below in the link, so please head on over there, go buy up everything you find. There is a Christmas shirt. Yes, I have broken my own rule in putting something before Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving is next week, so it's not too terrible. And not to mention the campaign for the Christmas shirt runs all the way through to December 5th. After December 5th, you will not be able to get this shirt. So please, if you like it, go and grab it. I have a ladies t-shirt, a men's t-shirt, all the way up to 5X, and I have a hoodie on there for everybody as well. So please, go check them out, go buy it up, go eat everything up in sight. Like I'm going to do to my dinner in just a few minutes. Moving on, now I'm also going to link in the bottom the Attocia Jewelry, where I had gotten this ring from. One of my favorites. There's 4 skulls, a black gem. It's my favorite ring of all time. They're quick with their shipping. Their prices are absolutely amazing, and most of their jewelry is stainless steel, so there's no rusting and no worry of allergic reactions if you're allergic to silver. Keep that in mind, folks. They're definitely a great place to go and get some of your more badass jewelry, as you will see from the link. That is where you go, badassjewelry.com. Moving on now that the advertisements are over. This week, for Hottest Tattooed Celebrity, we have one of Hollywood's original bad boys, and generally just my ultimate wet dream. We have, for this week's Hottest Tattooed Celebrity, Johnny Depp. I know last week with episode 10 I didn't give you a tattoo fail or win of the week, so I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm not counting episode 10 because that was just horrible. That was a horror show. So I'm coming at you this week with a tattoo fail, which is, I'm kind of losing my appetite a little bit, because for those of you who have seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. It is the human centipede. Why the fuck would you get that tattooed on your body, let alone on your fucking feet? That's twice the disgustingness right there. Again, this is why retail rants should be expanded, and it just might be in the near future, folks. And lastly, for this evening tonight, we have failed tattoo trends of the week, which, as you will see by the picture, is a prime example of why you do not get your boyfriend or your girlfriend's name tattooed on your body. I don't care how long you've been together. There's always a chance they're going to walk out the door, or you're going to walk out the door away from them. There's always that chance. So, names of significant others, please do not do it. Please do not do it. That's all I have to say. I think I've covered pretty much everything for this week. So please leave a like, subscribe to the video if you're a first time watcher, and please leave a comment below so I know what you think. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I had a little poll going on about what episode 9 should be about, and I was around Halloween. See how far behind I am, people? This is pathetic. My job is in the way. I had 2 other options there. I had The Simpsons and I had military tattoos. Next week, I might do something involving one of them. Also, I had announced a contest. So far, I have 1 entrant. I need 3 more. I need 3 more entrants for this contest. And the prize, of course, is the miniature voodoo doll kit. So if you're interested, please hit me up on Twitter at the Tattooed Masses and send me a DM with a picture of your tattoo or your most favorite tattoo, and we shall enter you in the contest. And then from there, it'll be people's choice on the winner, and that winner will receive their mini voodoo doll kit. This thing is so cute too. It's really just so cute. So with that, I hope you all have a great night. I hope to hear from some of you. I hope to hear from all of you sometime soon. And I'm hoping to be coming at you again next week with another episode number 12. I want to give a big shout out big shout out because we are almost at 30 subscribers on YouTube, and we have 108 followers on Twitter. We're getting there, folks. We're slowly climbing that ladder. I'm not really looking to go huge like Ken and Filthy and Lucky Low over at the Foulmouth Network, but, you know, I wouldn't mind a decent number of people watching, which we're getting close. We're getting at 30 views on average. We're getting on 30 views average for my videos here with you folks, which is fucking awesome. It is fucking awesome. So with that, please spread the word, share the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Have fun with it. I hope you all enjoy. Have a great night. I'm going to get back to my dinner.